to $1 Million Showgirl, where I teach you the old-fashioned razzle-dazzle. This intro's still not working and I apologize for my indiscretions. Yes, that's the situation we have. Well anyway, today's a different type of tutorial. A lot of you are at home in quarantine, and as am I. I'm unable to get a lot of supplies to do tutorials for you, and it's a catch-22 because now I have all this extra time to put out tutorials and content for you. So I am going to do one that has actually been requested on my main Instagram. If some of you do not follow my performer profile, it's a lot of photography. Most of that, actually 90%, is all self-portraits that I've done that no one can tell. So I get a lot of people asking about that, commenting about that, and I know a lot of performers who are stuck at home now are wanting to like upgrade their social media and take some good photos and just kind of overall just have some cool creative outlet. So I'm going to show you what I use to create these professional looking photos with either an iPhone, iPad, camera, and just a doorway or small area in your house with some wall space. So let's get started. First off, what I use is bulletin board paper. You can get it at any Joann's, Michael's, Amazon. I will be linking all the Amazon links below because we're in quarantine and it's an easy way. If you don't want to use Amazon, I'm sorry, that's the only place I know where I can find all the links to all the things that I'm describing at low prices. You can get it in multiple colors. It is limited by the width, so you won't be able to do really large, wide photos, but you can tape a bunch of them together and that works just as well. Get creative with it. They have a nice hole through them, like a tube, and what I do is I get a dowel, or in this case I have taped together two random, I don't know where I found them, they're just laying in the house, poles. I duct taped them together, grabbed two of the reusable, not scotch, I think they're scotch, hooks that you can take off and on of your walls, and I created I'm gonna zoom in on this after, basically a rolling, that is the situation I've created. That one is actually cut shorter, so when it's these aren't especially long, they're long enough to do some nice pin-up shoots on the floor, but once I start cutting them to make the white one, especially I use as pattern making paper. You want to catch it, and my favorite is I use pin curl clips to hold them so they don't do what that just did. But that's a great demonstration of how they roll off and on there. It makes it really easy to clean up your photo studio when you're done and roll it down when you need to take some photos. I also have carpet in my house, so if you also have carpet, that could be a problem if you're trying to get a seamless backdrop which goes all the way down to the floor. What I did was I actually went to Home Depot, and for $10 I got a random sheet of wood because I didn't care what it was, and I had it cut in half. You can get it cut in half at Home Depot. They'll do it for you so it can fit in your car, super easy. Get it cut into fourths, thirds, whatever you need. I had it cut in half. That's just worked out for me fitting in my car. It almost didn't though, so more pieces the better. And you just simply put them on the floor underneath your backdrop, and when you roll it down you have a nice hardwood floor that you can literally pick up and put against a wall or put in a closet when you're done, like it was never there. I also use it as a workout space because it's a nice hard surface. It's great for handstands, doing all that kind of fun stuff. Also good for crafts and glitter because it's not going to get in your carpet. I really hate carpet. I have rhinestones literally all through this carpet. It's quite the situation. Well anyway, that is the backdrop situation. I'm going to link all of the things below. There's also professional backdrop setups that you can buy on Amazon and other websites that are much wider, larger, and they have like usually a freestanding stand. I simply like this up against a wall, and I don't need that much room for a lot of the promo photos that I shoot. So this works perfect. It's easy to assemble and easy to put away, so it's not intrusive, but you can still have fun taking all the professional looking photos you want. Now, on to the most important part that makes the biggest difference. Let's talk about lighting. As you can tell, I am using one straight light because I did not plan this video very well. Just wanted to get it going and start filming. it's really hard to stay motivated during quarantine. So what I'm using is an 18-inch ring light. Most of you probably already have one of those or have some sort of version of this. There's many different types of lighting. This is the one I have currently, and it is the easiest to work with for beginners because it can do many things, so you get the most bang for your buck. It's great for videos, it's great for beauty stuff, it's great for photography. I am not the word of photography god, nor am I currently working professional. These are just my tips and tricks to get you basically the best type of selfie, self-portrait promo photos you can do in your home on your own, with the most minimal equipment. Easy peasy. Other photographers will be like, I hate ring light, continuous light, they need strobes. I'm like, we're not getting fancy. We're gonna have fancy photos, but we don't need to be fancy to do them. It also doesn't matter what kind of camera you have because the lighting will make all the difference. With the ring light, it comes with attachments to put the camera inside of the ring light. I do not do that because I like to have movement with my camera. I'm gonna get to that a little later in the video of really cool kind of tips and tricks on where to position your camera to kind of get the best angle that makes a really flattering photo. A couple of these photos were taken with that angle I'm going to show you, and it's surprising. It's surprising what it is, and then you're going to be like, that's stupid. What the hell is that? Alright, but anyway, so I have a newer brand one. It has a softbox on it right now. It also comes with some gels. I love this one that it comes with because it is, I call it the golden hour, and if you don't know what the golden hour is, it's the perfect time of day to take the most flattering photos. It's kind of right at sunset where everything's just beautifully gold. And this kind of recreates that. I really like it. You can actually, they all fit together, so you can mix the white and the gold and get tons of different like lighting effects and looks. Some of them are more subtle, but it's kind of cool to have that freedom over your colors. You can also purchase, I'll link them below, colored softbox covers for the ring light to get you even cooler shades of blue and yellow and primary colors. And I don't know if you can put them over top of each other and change the color, but you can figure it out. So that is what I'm using for lighting. I also have two little lights that change color that I sometimes use, but you can also add as many like household lights you want, like get creative. There's tons of stuff on Pinterest that will show you cool lighting arrangements to try. Photography is all about being creative and having fun, and since we're all in quarantine, this is a great way to like have some artistic flair to things. So now we're gonna move on to the camera. So I personally use a DSLR to take a lot of my photos, but a lot of them are actually from the iPhone. A lot of the newer iPhones, the Samsung, the Galaxies, the Androids, all of them have really good cameras. This isn't like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even 2 years ago. The cameras are actually competing with amazing phones. So if you have a good phone, that's all you need. It'll probably help you in the long run because you'll have to have less fidgeting with like all the DSLR apertures and ISO and all the stuff that I get confused on. I'm still using a kit lens, so that says how much that I invest in my camera equipment. So with the iPhone and iPad, they have attachments you can buy. These are super cute. I use this one for my iPad, and I have a little Gorilla tripod. I also have a taller Amazon Basics tripod that this camera that I am filming on is on, so I can't show you, but I'll put a picture here. That is the one that I use mainly. It has the right height for the shots and style of shooting that I do. It is actually not as tall as the ring light, so the ring light kind of goes above it. So if I want that beauty look, I can put the ring light behind it and this in front, and it still gives it that look of going through the ring light, which a lot of you are probably used to. There's also iPhone versions of this, all really good. I highly recommend also getting clickers. That Gorilla stand I'll link below, I love it. It actually is a knockoff Gorilla stand for like $8, and it came with a little, it's like a beauty thing, Bluetooth clicker, which I actually love. It has a little Android and iOS stick thing, so it works with both. it's really handy because then you can like center, make sure that it's focused on you, and then casually click and throw the remote, I guess, if you have no place to hide it on your body or in the shot. Just toss it and just pose. Just don't break anything. I don't think that's probably a good idea. I also have a Amazon one. This is what I use with my DSLR. It's also like $8. It's amazing. I've used this for years. So if you are working with a DSLR, there are options. If you have one that does not connect to your laptop or to your Wi-Fi, which mine does not. I got mine strictly for filming and then some photography. I didn't get one that's primarily for photography. So it doesn't have all those extra bells and whistles. So these are all be linked below. They're amazing though to have a clicker. It makes a huge difference. It also helps to autofocus sometimes because you can move around and watch your phone. Also with the iPhone, if that's what you're using, or the iPad, this is the tricky part. Do not use the front-facing camera. They do not have as much megapixels. The newest iPhone, I think, is a little better, but try and always use the camera on the back of the phone. Like put a mirror behind it, hook it to a computer. I think you can still do the screen grabbing. I haven't tried doing that in a while, but make sure that, I know it seems easy to just have the camera facing you, but it will help your photos so much to just have it with the back camera facing you, because it has options like portrait, and in portrait mode what it does is it'll blur the background, which is what kind of like a DSLR can do, and that's really handy. Alright, let's talk a little bit about planning your shoot. This is really important. I mean, it's fun to play around, but also kind of have an idea of what you're trying to accomplish. I use Pinterest a lot. I will link my Pinterest board below if I can. I don't know if I've had trouble trying to link Pinterest before, but they give you sheets. There's really nice people out there who have made sheets of all the poses for photography. So if you're like stumped and not sure how to like pose in front of a camera, and since you're taking your own photos, you don't have like a photographer there who's like, you're worried about judging you. You can just be free to do whatever and actually see how it looks without like people watching you or any of that insecurity stuff going on, which is really awesome. Leaves you a lot of creative, what was that word? Creative, expanse. Creative something, I don't even know anymore. Nope, can't do it, I don't know, who knows. Figure that out later, what that word was. Creative large amount of space, creative space, that's it, creative space. Whew, I'm glad we made it through that, guys. Oh my god. Also, it gives you ideas on lighting, how to position your lights. So, I'm about to do a demo. I think I'm gonna add that here. Showing you kind of behind the scenes of what my shoot setup usually looks like for a couple photos here. Kind of behind the scenes of what that looks like. Because seeing is a lot better than me just describing it to you. So we're gonna cut to that right now. Alright, so editing wise, if you're taking photos on an iPhone, I can do a separate video on all of these if you're really interested, I guess. If you're using an iPhone or an iPad, my favorite program, I use multiple programs. I use Snapseed because it has a lot of Photoshop elements. There's also full Photoshop for iPad, which I use. I also use Lightroom and iPad for almost all my photos. Lightroom and Photoshop. On a desktop, and I use it on the iPad also. If you do not have those, those I think do require a monthly payment through Adobe. I recommend Snapseed, and for doing lens flares, if you're doing not safe for work content like OnlyFans, this is another great setup to do some really professional OnlyFans promo, is PicsArt. It's an app, and it also has tons of editing stuff in there. It's the app that gives you all the stickers you could possibly want to stick all over the places you want. But they do a lens flare, which looks like this. and it can cover up your unmentionables while looking like J.J. Abrams fucking edited it. Yeah, that is a thing that you can have going on. So Snapseed also offers like curves tools, and it has a lot of presets. That makes a great difference. That way you don't have to worry about doing all your editing and things. I don't know if I'm missing anything. I had little notes, and then I ran out of notes, and I just thought I'd wing it. And I don't know if it's going so well. Anyway, I think that's about it. Alright, now tip number 2, or 3, I don't know how I'm editing this together, is if you are using a DSLR, this is a DSLR tip, your iPhone will automatically find your face. Sometimes the DSLRs do not. They have a lot of other stuff going on in their head because they're smart cameras, I don't know. Is have a placeholder where you want to be, like a stuffed animal or a mannequin, and then when you're behind the camera, like click on it and it'll zoom in on that, and then when you get in the frame with your little clicker, position yourself, throw that thing away, it'll be focused on you so you can get nice, crisp, clean shots. Try and always focus on your face. I know you want to focus on your outfit, but having a clear, like, light catches in your eyes really up the professionalism of the photo and the quality. Your iPhone probably won't really do this. They have all that built-in shenanigans. So yeah, that is tip number 2 or 3. I don't know which order I'm putting these things in, as I'm gonna edit this probably tomorrow. Cool. Alright guys, that was it. I hope you like this kind of different tutorial for this channel, but still within the realm of things. Yeah, everyone needs good promo photos, or OnlyFans photos, or just good Instagram photos. Like, who doesn't want to have professional looking photos from their living room and just daily post them all the time? That may be what I do with my dice. I don't know. With that being said, give the video a like, subscribe, follow my social medias, do the things, request videos you want me to do. I'm happy to do some editing, some photo editing videos if that is something you're interested in, and branching out into other videos if you want. I now have a lot of time on my hands. So yeah, so have fun, and I'll see you next time.